The ICE3 is a true icon of Germany's railways, being the first generation of German high-speed trains designed to reach speeds of up to 300 km per hour. Today, I'll be taking you on board this remarkable train, experiencing its excellent first class and showcasing its unique and standout features. Join me as we speed north on the high-speed line from Munich to Nürnberg. Munich main station, or München Hauptbahnhof, is the starting point for our journey today. Being the largest city in Germany's Bayern region and the third largest overall in Germany, this station is one of the most important. And to ensure the station keeps with the times, a large expansion and modernization program is currently ongoing to 2028. This means that the space for shops and restaurants has been greatly reduced, unfortunately. But hopefully this should improve the station by the time it's done. But in the meantime, stuff like the ticket office is currently behind temporary scaffolding, and the station does not have a lot of seating. Across the station's many platforms, you get a huge variation of trains heading to all sorts of destinations. Everything from Deutsche Bahn's red liveried regional trains to those run by private operator Go Ahead, and trains such as this night train from Amsterdam to Innsbruck and Vienna that's leaving the Dutch Vectron locomotive here, parked next to a ÖBB Taurus locomotive that will be going to Italy via Austria. And of course, Deutsche Bahn also has plenty of their ICE long-distance services come through the station every hour. And if you have time to head up to platforms 5 and 10, make sure to have a quick look at the model railway shop. They even had this Danish Lind 41 unit on display. And there's something for the Americans too. But as departure time is fast approaching, we'll have to head over to platform 19, where our 747 service to Essen Hauptbahnhof is waiting. The service is operated by two ICE3 units built by a consortium between Siemens and Adtranz that later became Bombardier, that's now Alstom. While they are limited to 300 km per hour in service, they theoretically can go 330. And with departure time fast approaching, it's time to head on board. The external displays help you conveniently locate carriages, and on the ICE3, I would really recommend reserving a seat either all the way at the front or the back, because this train has one special feature. Here we are in first class at the rear of the train, where I chose this pair of airline-style seats. Our train departs from Munich right on time at 7:47. Departures from Munich main station are usually quite interesting, as there's normally quite a few trains going in and out of the station at the same time. For instance, parked up here with the black locomotive, grey followed by blue carriages, is the joint service between Alex and České dráhy that connects Munich with Prague. And once we clear all the switches at the entrance to the station, we can begin accelerating. But even after clearing all the flat switches, there are still a lot of flyovers and fly-unders taking trains on their respective lines. We'll first take the route along the classic line as far as Ingolstadt, where we will join the high-speed line that will take us to Nürnberg. And that segues perfectly into the route map for today's journey. We are on board ICE 726, running from München Hauptbahnhof with one intermediate stop in Ingolstadt Hauptbahnhof before we get to my destination, Nürnberg Hauptbahnhof. This is a distance of 171 kilometers covered in an hour and 11 minutes, giving the train an average speed of 145 kilometers per hour. Afterwards, the train continues over Würzburg, Frankfurt and Köln to Essen Hauptbahnhof. As we make our way up towards Ingolstadt Hauptbahnhof, let's take a closer look at the seats here in first class. As expected on Deutsche Bahn ICE trains, you'll find a stylish leather seat. In the side of the seat, you can see seat reservation and seat number. The seat itself features a comfortable headrest pillow and strikes a good balance between padding and ergonomic design. Under the seat, you will find a power outlet, And in the case of this seat, there's a flip-out table like this. With the other airline-style seats getting a tray table that deploys like this, it's fairly sturdy, as well as a small pocket and a footrest. Overall, they deliver a high-quality seat, which is pretty common on the ICE trains in Germany. But of course, the real reason you sit in first class all the way at the back is for the view out of the cab. It's just such a cool and nerdy feature which I love. However, before you get all excited about it, it's worth mentioning the driver can frost the glass if they wish. Another thing I really like about these trains is the onboard ICE portal. It gives you access to the Wi-Fi, as well as shows information about your journey, delays, and so on. There's even a selection of free entertainment on it. But for your entertainment, I'm gonna take you on a walk through the rest of the train. If you're carrying a lot of luggage, I would recommend sitting in the regular first class cabin, not all the way at the end of the train. This is laid out in a 1+2 layout also, mostly airline style seating, but there are some table seats as well. Above the seats you'll also find space for luggage. And I've always really loved the wooden colored interior on the inside of ICE trains. Between the carriages in the vestibule is where you'll find the bins, as well as a map of German railways, and the toilet. With a nice and simple manual lock, a clean looking toilet with a working flush, we got soap, as well as water, and paper, so I'm giving it a thumbs up. Further down the train you'll also find some compartments in first class. And it's really thoughtful of Deutsche Bahn to put one of the passenger information displays in here, as those otherwise wouldn't be visible like in the airline style seats. Afterwards, it's just a regular first class carriage with more airline style seating, so let's skip ahead. Here we get to second class, which comes in an expected 2+2 layout. These seats also look really comfortable, but be aware about the window alignment. Just like in first class, the seat reservation display is in the seat itself, and the seats has similar amenities, such as tray table, storage pocket, and a power outlet. The seats are well padded and pretty comfortable, and strike a good balance between ergonomic design and padding. Perfectly good for long journeys as well. Further down we have the onboard bistro, which serves various meals and drinks, including beer on tap. And if there's no space in the dining part, there's also a standing area where you can enjoy a drink. And if you're traveling with children, there's also a special children's compartment on board the train. Anyway, back at my seat, we are now approaching our only intermediate stop of the day, Ingolstadt Hauptbahnhof. With 2 train sets combined, our train totals 402 meters, which means we just about fit on the platform here. And as we are running a couple of minutes behind schedule, in typical DB fashion, we are quickly off again. As we depart Ingolstadt Hauptbahnhof, we'll now be heading for the high-speed railway taking us to Nürnberg. And as we enter the tunnel at Ingolstadt Nord station, we begin running on the high-speed railway. And these ICE 3s are fast and have no problems reaching their top speed of 300 km per hour. And even at these speeds, the train is smooth and quiet. But at these speeds, it also means we'll get to Nürnberg in no time. So as we begin to slow to begin our approach into Nürnberg Hauptbahnhof, let me share my thoughts on the ICE 3. These are among my favorite high-speed trains. Not just because of the FOMO windows at the front and the back, but also because of the comfortable and stylish interior with all the passenger amenities you'd expect. I don't really have much to complain about. Obviously, Deutsche Bahn isn't the most reliable operator at the moment, but the onboard product is good, and apparently the newer ICE-free Neros are even better trains, which I can't wait to try at some point in the future. As I was traveling on an Interrail pass, I used this as my ticket. Regular tickets between Munich and Nürnberg start from 18 euros in second class and 24 in first, which is very reasonable if you ask me. Prices vary based on demand and time of booking, so book ahead if you can. We pull in to Nürnberg Hauptbahnhof just 2 minutes behind schedule at 8:56. After what has been a comfortable and quick journey with Deutsche Bahn on board what is one of my favorite trains. Thank you so much for joining me on this trip. If you want to see more videos like this, make sure you are subscribed to the channel. You can also follow me over on Twitter at InterCitySimon. I usually post live from my travels over there, so it's a great place to get a sneak peek at what videos might be coming to the channel in the future. Thanks for watching.